Lee's Logbook.
Hello and welcome to the next chapter of Lee's Logbook. I am Lee and this is Lee's Smashlog. More specifically, this is the next episode of...
Who's most likely?
Welcome back. Last episode, of course, we talked about the Mario series and exactly what characters I think are most likely to join the cast of Super Smash Bros. If they decide to add a new character from the Mario franchise. This video is going to continue that trend, for we are moving on to The Legend of Zelda. Because, I don't know, really. That was just the one I wanted to do next. Until I started to actually think about it. And then this became a really, really difficult topic. But let's get into it. So, first things first. As far as new characters go, do I think they're going to add one? Probably not. We already have Link, Zelda, Sheik, Ganondorf, and Toon Link. And I think those 5 are really all that we're going to need. I mean, it's possible for them to add a new character, which is the point of the video. But yeah, so let's start at Breath of the Wild Link. Now, we already know that Breath of the Wild Link is going to be in the game, in some form or fashion, because of this. So, we know he's going to be in the game, and that got me thinking, could this possibly be a new character? I feel that the possibility is there, and I also feel like it would kind of be wasted potential if you didn't decide to change up Breath of the Wild Link's moveset from normal Link's moveset, since, in all honesty, Breath of the Wild played a lot differently. You used many different kinds of weapons, of course, although, you know, once you get the Master Sword, you keep it. But I think that it could be interesting. You know, you could incorporate the shield riding. You could incorporate, potentially even different weaponry. You could, incorporate the champion's abilities. And that's the largest thing, honestly. You know, with the champion's abilities, it really changed how you played as Link, from previous games. You know, Rivali's Gale, you could jump sky high. That could easily be his new type of recovery move. Potentially his like, I don't know, down B, I don't know what to call it, down smash? Is that down smash? I don't think that's down smash. Anyway, it could be like Daruk's shield, Daruk's protection, I think it's called. As far as Urbosa's fury, potentially you could have that be like some kind of like dash attack sort of thing, like a lightning bolt. But then there's Mipha's Grace. I don't actually know how they would incorporate Mipha's Grace. I think they could, you know, add some sort of like self-healing ability, but I think that would be really, really good as far as this game is concerned. If you could shed off percentage points just on your own, that's pretty good. But when it came down to it, when I thought about the prospect of Breath of the Wild Link being a new character, a different character, by the end of it, I don't think so. I think, honestly, Breath of the Wild Link is going to play like Link has, and I'm pretty sure that he's going to have alternate Link costumes, and you're going to be playing as normal Link. So pretty much Breath of the Wild Link is now taking the place of normal Link, but they're going to play exactly the same. I do think that that is sort of wasted potential, but I possibly think what they could change is the final smash. So then we can get a different final smash for Link. It doesn't have to be, you know, the whole TRIFORCE thing. I don't even know what is that move called. When? I don't know. Ignore me. I'm just making noises. But yeah, so I think if they are going to change anything, it's probably going to be the Final Smash. They'll make it into potentially something to do with champions of Breath of the Wild. I think that would be really, really cool. And I think for Zelda, potentially they could do the same thing. If Zelda in this game ends up looking like Breath of the Wild Zelda, which I would think if Link is going to look like Breath of the Wild Link, then they should only, give Zelda the same courtesy. But then that brings Sheik into question. But I think they'll just keep Sheik as Sheik since, Sheik wasn't in Breath of the Wild, so. But as far as like brand new characters, if I had to like sit down and think about it, which I did, who would I put into Smash? And really, I only thought of like one person that stuck out to me as a choice that would be different and also pretty interesting. And that's Sidon. Now, Sidon, of course, in Breath of the Wild, is the Prince of the Zoras, and he's a pretty chill dude, as seen here. But yeah, so Sidon is really the only character I could think of that garnered enough popularity from Breath of the Wild, because a lot of people actually ended up liking Sidon. However, I don't really know if this warrants a character spot, and it really does seem like the characters they're going for are not necessarily game-specific, because of course, Ganon is in every game, Zelda is in every game, Link is in every game, and those are really the only three characters that they have, because Sheik is just Zelda and Toon Link is Link. Yeah, as far as that's concerned, the only character that I think that garnered enough popularity would be Sidon, but I would call Sidon more of a wild card. Moving on. On the topic of potentially some other characters that they can add, one more name did come to mind, and I think that this character is enough of a stable to where she could work in the same vein as Link, Zelda, and Ganon. And that's Impa. Impa is the only other character that I can really see that can sort of equate to Link, Zelda, and Ganon in terms of, like, inclusion in Legend of Zelda games. Of course, Impa hasn't been in every Legend of Zelda game, but she has been in an awful lot of them, and I think that they could make an interesting fighting style for her, especially if they base her on her Hyrule Warriors self. But that would depend. Because there are plenty of characters in Hyrule Warriors that they could add. There's also, like, Lana, which is the Hyrule Warriors exclusive character that they had, which could use magic, which would be an interesting type of character. But then, there's also Impa, who's using this gigantic greatsword, and I think that fighting style could be pretty interesting as well. Other potential wild cards that are more game-specific, there's Midna from Twilight Princess. I know she's a pretty popular character. Even, like, this would be more of a joke character, honestly, but you could have a weird, kooky moveset, sort of like Duck Hunt did, honestly. Because Duck Hunt's moveset ended up being very interesting. But yeah, that's honestly, all I could really think of when it comes to the Legend of Zelda series, this was a tougher topic than I thought it would be, because when I actually sat down and started thinking about it, a lot of what I thought would be possible seemed a lot less likely. So really, this was just a list of, like, one character who was confirmed, and the rest, which are kind of just wild cards, you know? That's really it. That's all I got. But if you enjoyed this more discussion than list type deal, then please leave this video a like. And if you are intrigued to see more of Lee's Smashlog, then if you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing, and more will be sent directly your way. Plus, you'll be a part of Lee's League. And as always, I will see you guys next time.